You leave the money on the table and follow Stella out of the diner. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. So I'm starting to wonder what the exact geography of this place would be. It definitely takes place kind of in the East Coast area. Presumably more in the south, given mentions of Skunk, which is, Florida, and that one attraction of North Carolina, which was insinuated to be on the way. So I'm thinking we're probably in like a South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee sort of area, I would imagine. Because we can't be too far to the Skunk Apes range. And we got to be somewhere to where North Carolina isn't that far away. So that would be about the geographic region I'd expect. Yeah. Anyway, maybe it'll tell us explicitly at some point in the future. Also, the boiled peanuts. I think boiled peanuts is a Georgia thing. At the very least, Jimmy Carter he was from Georgia, and he was a peanut farmer. So again, that kind of backs up, that sort of region, because that boiled peanuts are prominent there. Anyways. You're in a new place, far from civilization, and the people you know following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. Probably somewhere in like Appalachia, I guess would be the term, but I'm thinking southern Appalachia. You feel more alive than you've been in years, strangely calm, tense, or unsettled. We'll go for more alive than you've been in years. This has been a nice adventure thus far. You feel alive. The fall breeze passing through the leaves, the orange hue of the setting sun painting the horizon, the promise of excitement ahead. It's been a while since you felt this in the moment, this present. The world around you feels almost magical. Were a mythical creature to actually manifest in front of you, it would fit perfectly into this world. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. The past summer was the hottest on record, since last year at least. You know how it is these days, each summer's the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. So if that was a bit of a bummer, we should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. Are you expecting to find anything? Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids, like ghosts and whatnot? Has anything bad ever happened on these hikes? What's the weirdest thing you've seen out there, here other than cryptids? Let's ask about that. What's the weirdest thing you've seen out here, other than anything cryptid related, of course? Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. A deer? I thought they were herbivores. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it, so I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Is this an actual thing? Huh. Oh, Tetanus Lake. That definitely was weird. It's a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell it was out there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It's all stuff from the 50s too, which is super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep on my dresser as a little souvenir. Are you really expecting to find anything out here? What are the chances we actually run into a skunk ape in just one night of filming? That's fair. We are hunting a creature that's stayed hidden from humans long enough to gain a mythic reputation. What are the odds of something like that popping out to star on my little YouTube channel? But hey, the chances are never zero, right? Well, I mean, if skunk apes don't exist, then yes, the chances would be zero. Though I guess from our perspective, since it's nearly impossible to prove a negative, I won't say nearly impossible, but it's much more difficult to prove a negative than a positive, right? Since you can't observe the entirety of the Earth simultaneously, it's very difficult to make a definitive claim that X definitely for sure doesn't exist, whereas to prove that something does exist, you only need... Technically, you would only need one example of it. Now, granted, if you want to convince people, you probably need a bit more than just, like, one photograph. But the point stands. Proving something does exist is way easier than proving it doesn't exist. From that framework, we can then say that, from our perspective, since it's so difficult to prove with certainty that something doesn't exist, then the chances aren't zero, because we can't be certain in a knowledge that something doesn't exist. If that makes sense. Right? Basically what I'm saying is, it's possible that skunk apes don't exist, in which case, the real chances of running into one are zero. However, we can't be 100% certain that skunk apes don't exist. And therefore, if we aren't 100% certain that skunk apes don't exist, from our perspective, the chances of running into one have to be above zero, since it's plausible they might exist. Okay, anyways. Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids, like ghosts and whatnot? Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids? You know, like ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Yeah, for sure. Used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. Never had much luck, though. Especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd go to all sorts of old abandoned buildings hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened, so it was just me and my camera in an old house, getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all is said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I don't believe in ghosts so bad, and I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there. But if there are, I sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Werewolves I kind of lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there actually were people out there who turned into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. As for demons, I don't know. I honestly don't even want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they really are out there, geez, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's hope all of that's just bunk, am I right? What about aliens? What do you think about aliens? Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. Heck yes, aliens are real. I'm skeptical. See, that's just what the government wants you to think. I have absolutely no opinion on aliens. Now, the alien debate, that's actually an interesting thing. Because I think there are two sort of different things people mean when they say aliens are real, right? The first claim that just is the literal phrase of what aliens are real means basically just means there is life on planets in the universe other than Earth. Or I guess the more accurate way to say is there is life in the universe that has not originated from Earth. Because if the definition for alien is literally just life that is not on Earth, then when we did the moon landing, technically aliens would have existed because there was life on the moon. That's not what people are talking about, though. All right, so if we specify and say life originating from places other than Earth, then, I mean, I think just as a numbers game, the fact that we know it's possible for life to exist, and the fact that we know the universe is so massive, it seems unlikely, even if life existing is extremely unlikely, that there was nowhere else in the universe that got lucky enough to have life on it. So I would wager that it's definitely the more likely scenario that aliens exist somewhere in the universe, if we're going by that definition. The definition that is the other side of the coin is aliens exist and have visited Earth. And that one's a bit more dicey, if only and I know there's the evidence of, like, you know, the government's planes and whatnot that she's referencing here. However, what I'm stuck with is the concept of if aliens exist and have visited Earth, I feel like their presence would have been more obvious, right? We wouldn't be looking at, oh, there's this one video of a spacecraft moving around in an unnatural way. We'd be looking at, oh, there's a big, like, mining structure that's, like, stealing our uranium. Or, oh, there's an entire colony of alien beings that don't exist. You know. Like, if we compare aliens, the concept of aliens coming to Earth as to, like, the Europeans colonizing the New World, right? It wasn't long before Europeans to the New World, from the perspective of the New World, became like an undeniable, yes, they're here, yes, they're killing us, yes, they're like trying to conquer the whole place. Now, granted, I suppose there would have been a time period where there was like a ship came and explored. A ship like went by the sea, by the coast and mapped Brazil or something. Right? So it's plausible we could be in that phase, right? Where maybe the aliens are just getting here, they're just doing some exploration reconnaissance, and the next, depending on how fast space travel actually is capable of being, maybe in the next 10, 20 years, maybe in the next couple centuries, we'll actually start seeing aliens properly imposing. And one thing to realize with aliens is it's plausible that since we only have one case study for life existing, we can't know what the exact odds of it are. It's plausible the odds are so low that basically it's like one planet per galaxy gets life. And if that's the case, then alien species may never even meet each other because it is so difficult. Like the distance, like if you think the distances between like planets or stars are vast, the distances between galaxies are on a whole nother level. To the extent where it's like potentially impossible to ever even cross to a new galaxy. So it's very possible that aliens could be completely real, but in other galaxies, and we will never have solid evidence of them, one way or the other. In any case, though, heck yes, aliens are real. Heck yes, aliens are real. Nice, I knew we had a connection. I know somebody who knows somebody who heard the story from this trucker in Fayetteville. His truck stopped in the middle of the road, just shut down completely, even though he had a full tank of gas. And suddenly it looked like daylight outside. He could see cows out in the fields, birds in the sky, then this metallic-like egg thing appeared, floating in front of his truck. He passed out, and when he woke up, he was missing one of his pinkies. It was like it had never been there in the first place. It was just smooth skin where a pinky should be. I know it's a second-hand source, but there's plenty more like it. If they are true. Maybe it was just sleep paralysis. That could have been sleep paralysis. I think alien abductions usually are. Maybe he pulled off to the side of the road for a nap and wound up having a wild hallucination while he slept. Okay, but what about his finger? It wasn't missing before it happened. And suddenly, poof, no pinky. Maybe he was just lying. Yeah, you got me there. Maybe somebody came by while he was sleeping and took it. Look, sometimes fingers disappear. I don't have all the answers. I like that. I think that's a good joking response. Look, sometimes fingers disappear. I don't have all the answers. Look, sometimes fingers disappear. I don't have all the answers. Nor do I, and that's what keeps me going. But I do think that in this particular instance, if something did happen, the answer is aliens. Has anything bad ever happened on these hikes? Has anything bad ever happened on one of these hikes? You know, just curious. Let me think. There was a time back in the early high school when Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks from town rig up a pulley to get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple of months to heal. Oh no, not too bad. Though I guess there was also that time I was out here alone and kinda got stuck in a cave. Getting great footage of what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my way back out. Turns out that the wampus cats are actually skunks who very much did not appreciate me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside, bored to tears. Lassie, she is not. It took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense, but a few tomato juice baths later, I was right as rain, so it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was this time I accidentally stumbled onto old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. Well, that happens to everybody sooner or later. I'd barely count it. Oh, so yeah, these hikes aren't really all that dangerous, all things considered. Did you hear that?
Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutz. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl.
Oh, sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were...
Some creature of darkness? Ha, girlie. Just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here?
A skunk ape.
Sorry I asked. And who's this you've suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick, you aren't. Is that?
Yep.
I see. Welcome to the hole. My condolences, I'll keep you in my prayers.
Another stranger. Another opportunity for a salty introduction. I'll offer Duke some boiled peanuts. He seems like the type of guy who loves some. You hold out the slippery bag in front of Duke. It's grown quite fragrant since you first put it in your rucksack, like the scent of old beer. But you're pretty sure that's what it's supposed to smell like. I don't know why the boiled peanuts crack me up so much.
Boiled peanuts from your backpack. Nah, I'm all set, thank you. Now both of you all head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter, and I won't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife.
What are you hunting tonight?
Something
tall and hairy? Something musky? See anything like that recently?
Wouldn't you like to know? You never could say in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down.
Oh, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know, I learned from the best.
That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listen to any of it, the way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens, and I've lost 3 this week. I can't afford to lose many more than that.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But, I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken.
Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no Skunk Ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what it is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you.
Oh, Duke, you don't think it's...
I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaking off. Are sneaking. Of course you wouldn't find any in 1 night of trekking. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else.
I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. It hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s. Even those are iffy.
I can't believe you go out there on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted by a couple of school-age Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your videos. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I knew to be true.
I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anyone on you. I don't think it's plausible.
You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. If you don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight.
It's like, okay, we'll go home. Oh, that is a tough voice to do. But we were here first. What? If you find a mountain lion, don't kill it. Right on, Duke. Kill that mountain lion. Can't you just buy more chickens? Okay, let's go. Or don't butt in this.
Or don't butt in, this is between Duke and Stella. If he's running around with a gun, we probably shouldn't be out here. But could be interesting. Maybe we can help him. Okay, well, this feels like it's a terrible mistake, but let's do it. Okay, we'll go home.
What?
Good. I'm glad you got some sense. Still need somebody like that around. But I've got to
I've got to film tonight. The video needs to be out by tomorrow evening, so I can keep on schedule. If I miss an update, I might lose my new sponsor, and who knows what that'll mean for my career.
No, Stella, we should leave. We should leave, and we shouldn't come back. You turn and wink at Stella as subtly as you can. She immediately picks up what you're putting down.
All right. Duke, maybe you've got a point. Come on, James, let's go back to town. Maybe my viewers won't be too angry with me.
Glad to hear you're finally seeing some sense still. You two run along now and stay safe.
Well played, James. Really threw him off the trail by pretending we're going back to town. Now come on, I know how we can loop around without him noticing.
Yeah, we sure fooled him.
Can we actually go back to town, though?
Let's not be too braggadocious. We'll just follow Stella.
Trail's just up this way. Let's go. Alright, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera?
I hope I didn't just get her, like, shot. It's definitely plausible. Like, there's a reason people aren't supposed to be out when there's hunting going on. Especially if you're not wearing, like, a bright orange vest or something, so it's obvious that you're not wildlife. I can see it right now. She's gonna be, like, standing there, doing her video thing. I'm gonna be holding the camera, and then BANG! Dead. But, the die is cast. She hands you the camera and takes position.
As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious James, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all of this gorgeous scenery.
Okay, I can say it's breathtaking. It's hard to take it all in. What with all the danger. Being this far from civilization stresses me out. I've seen better. Not a fan of the bugs. Quite look into Stella's eyes or remain silent. It is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. And the air is so clean and fresh. I feel like I'm breathing for the first time.
It is. I'm glad you came out here. Gretchen has no appreciation for beautiful mountain vistas, and it gets old saying wow into the empty expanse every time I come out here. It's nice to have someone to say wow with.
Your quiet moment of Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. What was that? Oh no, the skunk ape has found us. It's Duke back with the shotgun. Run! Death has come for me at last. Goodbye, cruel world, or remain silent. Well, we'll start with it. Subdued, what was that? What was that?
No need to panic. That's just the sound deer make when they want to warn the rest of their herd about a big scary predator like us. Let's check it out.
Could be a big scary predator like the old man. As you and Stella hear footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. Oh! A single deer remains behind, staring down
the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. What is wrong with its face? Is it eating? Like, or is that tumors? And then it's gone. Jeez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. You're too much of a potato, and they don't make harnesses to fit potatoes, do they? There's something wrong with that deer. Why'd you bring her with you? Well, that got my heart rate up. I'm ready for the hunt. It's never too late to turn back or remain silent. There was something wrong with that deer. Did you see its face? Now that you mention it, there was something a little off. I'd bet it was an abscess, maybe a tumor. It's not like wild animals can get those taken care of, so they just get bigger and bigger. Poor thing, but there's not much we can do about it. Well, that got my heart rate up. I'm ready for the hunt. That got my heart rate up. I'm ready for the hunt. Same for me. As that we take a quick snack break to fuel up, then we get right into the night's activities. I've got all the best trail snacks. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of assorted snacks. I can take the trail mix with extra M&Ms, take a snack bar, take the dried apricots, take the sesame sticks, or no, really, no thanks, I'm not really hungry. Let's go for the apricots. You grab a handful of dried apricots. I actually tried these myself. I would end up getting a bunch of apricots for free from Janie a while back and didn't know what else to do with them. It's wild how easy it is to make your own dried fruit. Really? Maybe I should try it out. Or that's neat. Thanks, Stella. It sounds fake. Cooking is never easy. It sounds like a ton of work when you can just buy some from the store. Or I'd burn my house down, or sounds like Terran. Really? Maybe I should try it out. Sometime. Yeah, you just slice up your fruit of choice and put it in the oven at like 200 degrees, set a timer for 4 hours, and come back to a whole mess of dried fruit. Do make sure to set a timer, though. That's the most important part of cooking, honestly. Never assume you'll be able to tell how much time has passed. I guess that actually applies to a lot of things. Ooh, nice little overlook. What's this? What is this? Okay. You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of evening wildlife wash over you. Gretchen gnaws at a stick, distracted for the time being. So tell me, what's it like in New Hillshire? Do you have a house, an apartment? Do you live with family, roommates, pets? Tell me what it's like to be James. I live alone in a dingy studio apartment. I live in a closet in a house with 10 roommates. I live in a doorless basement that floods whenever it rains. I live in an apartment with a difficult roommate. I live in a 12 by 12 shed in someone's yard. I live in an internet cafe. I'd rather not say or shrug and rain sound. I'll say a dingy studio apartment. I live alone in a dingy studio apartment. And I love it. And it's a mixed bag. And I hate it. And it's a mixed bag. At first, it was kind of nice to finally have a space that was just mine. But now it feels cramped. It's like I'm stuck in a closet alone, and no one can come let me out because I chose this for myself, and as far as they know, I'm happy being there. The lights flicker, the toilet is constantly getting backed up because the landlady upstairs keeps flushing her cat's litter. It smells like cigarettes for some reason. It's home to an extremely durable population of roaches. But I guess it's home. I do what I can to spruce up the place. I got a plant. You know how they say living things are supposed to brighten up a room. When you put it like that, I wonder if staying in that old mansion is a step up or a step down for you. Maybe just a step sideways. Have you tried looking for a different place, or maybe finding a roommate? There's gotta be a better apartment than that in a big city like New Hillshire. I've thought about finding a roommate. I've had enough of bad roommates for a lifetime, and this is cheap. I've been saving up for something better, or shrug. I've been saving up for something better. Oh, I hear you. I've been saving up for something better. Oh, yeah? So, what do you do for a living? I build programmatic ads for a company nobody's ever heard of. I sell arts and crafts on Etsy. I'm a first-year associate at a big law firm. I'm a streamer. I'm a student. I'm a teacher. I'm in the service industry. I'd rather not say. Remain silent. I like this one. I build programmatic ads for a company nobody's ever heard of. So, you know those ads you see on the sidebar of every website you visit that feel like they know way too much about you? Oh yeah, the ones that recommend stuff based on things I could swear I only talked about in person? So creepy. It's like they can hear everything I say. I work for a company that builds those ads for other companies. I went to school for computer science and thought I'd be doing something challenging when I got hired, but instead of actual programming, they mostly have me go in and make endless changes to the font size and color or whatever to make more people want to click on the ad. I should make like 40 or 50 ads that are all almost exactly the same and track each of them on a giant spreadsheet. That's my life. That seems a little soul-crushing. It is. It could be worse. Actually, I love it. It remains that. It could be worse. It could be worse. At least I have a job, I guess. Programmers make a lot of money, right? Usually. I definitely thought the number on my paycheck was a lot when I was fresh out of school, but it turns out they hired me way below market rate. Maybe I'll find something new, though. A crisp breeze passes over you. You can't help but shake the feeling that you're being watched. You scan the tree line and something catches your attention. For the shortest moment of time, your eyes meet with the eyes of someone or something else. And then they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. I think we're being watched. It might be Skunk, Abe. Do your best to pretend it isn't watching us. We don't want to scare it off. What about you? What's your living situation? Gretchen and I live in a little house just outside of town. It's actually the house I grew up in, so it has a lot of pleasant memories attached to it, and I'm glad I could keep it in the family. My great-great-grandfather built that house, and he must have done a great job because it's just as sturdy as it's ever been. I'm sorry about your parents. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sorry about your parents, Stella. Nothing gets past you, huh? Yeah, they're not around anymore. I died a few years back. But it's alright, I've done my mourning. What were they like? Did you get along? They were amazing. Two of the nicest people you'd ever meet. And interesting, too. My dad was a bit of a regional legend among hunters and trappers. He was always out in the woods, on the trail, or something, and we certainly had some interesting dinners because of him. He had to learn how to fend for himself, you see, since his family didn't have much growing up, so he learned how to hunt and trap and got damn good at it. He always made sure I had food and that I knew how to get it if I ever found myself too far from a grocery store. I could make us a pretty good salad with just what's in this clearing if I had to, though it wouldn't exactly taste great. As for my mom, she was a saint. She was the local vet, the lady all the farms in the county knew to call if their animals were in need of something. She was as smart as whip and strong to boot. Turns out pulling calves out of 1,600-pound cows all day is a great way to build muscle. But she was gentle, too. Even the smallest mouse would get the proper care in her hands. I'm sure she's most of the reason Gretchen here is one of the oldest dogs I've ever met. So yeah, those were my parents. I can relate. My mom died pretty recently. So I get it. It's alright if you ever need to talk about things. Aw, thanks, James. That's really sweet of you. How are you holding up? I'm okay, hanging in there. Terrible, to be honest. I was glad to see her go, or I don't feel much about it. I'm okay. Hanging in there. It was a long time coming, so it wasn't a surprise. I'd kind of come to terms with it by the time it actually happened. It's not all bad. She doesn't have to be in pain anymore. That's a relief. The hospital bills are another story, though. Yeesh, I can't even imagine how bad that must be. Just salt in the wound at that point. Whoa. So immediately packs her bag and slings it over her shoulder. Everything else went quiet. I could hear all sorts of wildlife just a second ago. Now it's quiet. You're right. And whatever made that sound is close. Here, hold Gretchen's leash for me, and let's check this out.